Lemko language. Lesson 1. Alphabet, pronunciation. Lemkівський язик. Перша лекція. Азбука, вимова. The alphabet. Azbuka. Lemko uses Cyrillic letters like other East Slavic and some South Slavic languages. The Lemko alphabet has 34 letters. For the most part, each letter represents one distinct sound, and every letter is pronounced when written and spoken. Instead of going over the sounds of the letters in alphabetical order, I will go over the letters in 4 groups, starting with the easier letters and progressing to the more difficult ones. The first group includes letters and sounds that are found in English. These should be the easiest letters to recognize. The underlined letter in the English word on the right is a corresponding sound of the letter on the left. Let's begin. A, as in the A sound in father. E, as in the E sound in set. E, as in the E sound in eat. K, as in the K sound in kite. M, as in the M sound in mouse. O, as in the O sound in O. S, as in the S sound in see. T, as in the T sound in town. The second group includes letters and sounds that are found in English, however each letter and sound are not matched together the same way as they are in English. The first letter looks like an English B, but it's actually pronounced like the letter V in vet. I should note that depending on its position in a word, this letter can also be pronounced like the letter W in water and like the letter H in hat. We'll get more into that later. Next, we have a letter that looks like an H, but it's pronounced like the letter N in nice. Following, we have a letter that looks like a P, but is actually pronounced like R. Some may argue that this sound doesn't exist in English, and to a certain extent that is true. However, a similar sound can be found in English. When a native English speaker is talking at normal speed, they would say ladder, not ladder. And if you hone in on the pronunciation of the 2 D's in the middle of the word, you can hear a sound that is pretty close to the R sound. Lastly, we have U, which is like the letters O, U in U. The third group includes letters that are not found in English, but their sounds that they represent are found in English. The first one is B, pronounced like the letter B in bet. H, like the letter H in house. G, like the letter G in gate. D, like the letter D in dog. Y, like the letters YE in yes. J, like the letter S in treasure. Z, like the letter Z in zoo. I, like the letter I in it. Y, like the letter Y in yellow. Here we have some more letters of the third group. L, pronounced like the letter L in pull. This letter can also be pronounced like the letter W in water, depending on its position in a word. P, like the letter P in pet. F, like the letter F in fat. T, like the letters TS in pits. Ch, like the letters CH in charm. Sh, like the letters SH in shoe. Sh, like the letters SHCH in fresh cheese. U, like the letters YOU in you. Ya, like the letters Y in yellow, followed immediately by the letter A in father. Think the German word ja. J, like the letter J in John. Although this is not a distinct letter, it is a distinct sound in Lemko. The fourth group includes letters and sounds not found in English at all. The first letter is pronounced like There is no English equivalent to this, but maybe the closest sound to this is the letter U in Pole. Another way to pronounce this sound is saying the I sound in it, but having your tongue shifted back. So instead of saying I, you say The next letter is H. This sound is pronounced in the back of the throat. This sound can be found in the Scottish word loch. The last two letters include the soft and hard signs. In Lemko, they are called mjaki znak and tverdy znak, respectively. These two letters represent no sound by themselves, but they influence the sound of the consonant that precedes them. This will be covered more in the next few slides. Palatalization. Palatalization is a phenomenon where the consonant is pronounced by having the middle of the tongue in contact with the palate or the roof of the mouth. One way to help pronounce palatalized consonants is to put the tip of your tongue just below the bottom row of your teeth while having the middle part of the tongue in contact with the roof of your mouth. In Lemko, consonants preceding I, ye, you, ya, and the soft sign mjaki znak are palatalized. When the hard sign tverdy znak is found in a word, it negates any palatalization of the preceding consonant. In this slide, I will go over the difference in sound of palatalized and non-palatalized consonants. The following consonants tend to have the greatest difference in sound in terms of palatalized and non-palatalized. Note, not all of these examples are actual words, though if they were, they would be pronounced as such. Dzido, dido. Zila, zila. Ljubo, ljubo. Ni, ni. Sha, sja. Tin, tin. Mishacha, mishach. I'd like to note that a few consonants, when palatalized, may sound like another sound altogether. However, it should be emphasized that there is still a distinction between the two sounds. In this slide, I'll provide examples of this. Column 1 represents hard or non-palatalized consonants. Column 2 represents a soft or palatalized consonant. Column 3 represents letters that represent a sound that is close to but not exactly the same as those in column 2. To the untrained ear, the difference may not be so noticeable, but after a while, the difference becomes apparent. D, j, j, z, j, j, s, sh, sh, ц, ch, ch. The letter L is pronounced like the letter L in Pole, except in the following cases in which it's pronounced like the letter W in water. Case 1. At the end of a word. Angel, angel. Case 2. Before a consonant. Piłka, piłka. Case 3. Before a, o, u, and adjective endings a and e. Mwaka, biłe. Typically, the further west in the Lemko region you go, the more the letter L sounds like the letter W in water. As my family is from the eastern part of the region, I follow only cases 1 and 2, whereas people who originate further west would follow case 3 as well. For an example, I would say mlaka, not mwaka, and bile, not biwe. It should not and usually doesn't cause misinterpretation between speakers from different areas, so you may choose to include or exclude case 3 so long as you're consistent. The letter V is pronounced like the letter V in vet except in the following cases in which it's pronounced like the letter W in water. Case 1. At the end of a word. Hell. Hell. Case 2. After a vowel and before a consonant. Nohauke. Nohauke. I would like to add a note to the letter V. Occasionally, V is pronounced like the letter H in hat if V is the first letter of the word and precedes either B, V, D, L, M, N, or P. Some publications take this into account where V is replaced with H. For example, Vmerte and Chmerte both mean the same, so just be aware of the varied pronunciation and spelling. Next, we'll talk about stress. Stress is the syllable of a word that is emphasized. In English, you would say happy, not happy. In this case, the first syllable is stressed. In Lemko, the stress is always on the penultimate syllable. Basically, that means it's always on the second to last syllable. The Lemko word for house is chja, not chja. And the Lemko word to sing is śpiewaty, not śpiewaty, and not śpiewaty. Here are some sample words to practice your pronunciation. Lem, lem. Pieniędzy, pieniędzy. Chneska, chneska. Besidúwaty, besidúwaty. Fest, fest. Juhas, juhas. Żwiduwaty, żwiduwaty. Kabat, kabat. Bajusy, bajusy. Otkal, otkal. This concludes Lesson 1. Please stay tuned for upcoming lessons.